Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm reviewing for you Natasha Denona's cream blush and highlighter. Does this color show up on my skin tone? It absolutely shows up. So for my skin tone, I have absolutely zero issues with this looking ashy or anything like that. The shade is really beautiful, and I'll also be doing some comparison swatches towards the end, so watch out for those. Now the first things, it has a bit of a drier texture. There isn't a lot of shine in this product. I hope you can see that. This is matte. This doesn't give me that very creamy, that very dewy cheek look. So I'm gonna pop this on this side here. I'm just gonna use my finger. I found that using this blush with finger is beautiful. It works perfectly. You can also use a brush with it, of course. Pat it here. Look at that. That is beautiful and bright and pink. I love it. Perhaps I've added a little bit too much. I'm just going to go ahead and add it on this side as well. I think this color looks stunning on tan skin. I thought this was going to be like a pinky coral, but it's definitely a pink shade. I don't see much coral in this color. And then you can just very easily blend it out just with your finger. Straight away, I mean, from the color, you can tell it is really gorgeous. It just makes me look really fresh face and like it's summer. It's pretty. So you can build up the intensity with this, or you can keep it light and keep it soft. Now, the great thing with this drier texture for this blush is that for those of you that have oily cheeks, combo skin with oily cheeks or oily skin, you're not going to find that this slip and slides, or many people that have oily skin don't like cream blushes because they can be super emollient and they can make them look very shiny after just an hour. What I found about this blush is that this drier texture is pretty matte. So I have combo skin, I tend to get oily cheeks, but this not only stays put on my skin throughout the day, it doesn't get very shiny, which is amazing. I mean, I love my dewy cream blushes, not taking anything away from that, but I do enjoy, especially in these hot summer days, that I can wear this and not look super dewy. And the best part about this blush is the longevity. I've been wearing this blush for a few days now, and every single day I've been able to wear it for solid 8 hours, up to 9 hours with only minimal fading. I wore this to work as well, and I wore a very light wash, and even wearing just a very softly applied blush, this stayed put on my face for 9 hours and it was still there at the end of the day. So in terms of longevity, I am really impressed. I also find that because of that matte texture, it really doesn't emphasize my cheek texture. Like, I've got a bit of a cheek texture at the moment around here, but applying this cream blush, it doesn't make that texture stand out. I really love that. So I think a beautiful blush, beautiful color. It looks great on my tan skin. Longevity wise, it's perfection. It's just, there's no bad thing I could really say about this. Also, when I've tried wearing this for multiple days in a row, I didn't break out or anything like that. So that's a big plus. I'm a big fan. Now let's talk about the other side. So this is the highlighter. Now the color for this highlighter is stunning. It has a gold and pink shift. It works beautifully with this colored blush. There is a downside for the highlighter though, unfortunately. The highlighter has a bit of a sparkly shimmer finish. So it's not smooth as your Dior highlighters or Charlotte Tilbury. Those highlighters tend to be very smooth. You see shimmer and shine on the cheek, but you don't see a lot of shimmer. And you certainly don't see any sparkle. With this shade, you see some sparkle, you see some gold, you see some pink. You may be a person that doesn't mind that at all, and if that's you, I think you will love this. But if you're someone who minds that sparkle, who doesn't really want to see sparkle on your cheek, you may not really like this highlighter, even though the color is stunning. It's stunning. So let me pop this on. Now, I do enjoy this highlighter with my finger. When I apply it with a normal brush, with this highlighter, it deposits a lot of that sparkle, which I don't particularly like, but that's just me. So I will take just a very small amount onto my finger there. So you can see how much I took. It's just a very small amount. And I'm just going to blend that in. So because I took such a small amount and I really kind of pressed it into the skin with my finger, a lot of that sparkle sort of melts away, which is fantastic. So that's the way that I've found to apply this highlighter that works the best for me. It really is to take a very small amount and then really just pat it and push it into the skin so you don't get all this deposition of sparkle on your face. And then I really enjoy how that looks. So that looks very, very pretty. And just a small amount. You really need a very small amount, not a lot at all. And it looks beautiful. It works so well with this cream blush. I really like it. I wouldn't say I love it, because if it was a different texture, a smoother texture, a non-sparkly finish, then I would say I love it. But I do like it. So on this side, I actually want to show you what this looks like with my normal brush that I use for highlighters, which is the Wayne Goss number 2. And now I'm just going to pick up a small amount. I've got this much on my brush, and I'm just going to pop that on the other side of my face. Do you see that? I really hope the camera is able to capture how this applies with a brush. You can see that it deposits a lot of highlighter there, and I can definitely see that strong shimmer. Now I'm just going to buff it in using this brush. Now this highlighter doesn't really have a very spreadable formula. So even though I'm using my brush to buff it in, I have to use a lot of pressure to get this to really buff out. It's because of that cheek product underneath. The highlighter sticks to that cheek product, and then it can be really hard to buff out with a brush. However, if you were using your finger, it would be a lot easier just to buff that out. So now I've used a little bit more pressure and buffed it out, and I can definitely see some sparkle on my cheeks there. Again, it does look very pretty, but my favorite way to apply this highlighter is definitely with my finger and using a very small amount. Let's move on to some comparison swatches. Looking at the hand swatches and doing a comparison with some of the other blushes that I own, the closest match is Patrick Ta's blush in She's That Girl. In that swatch, I've first layered the powder and then the cream blush on top, which makes this color slightly deeper than the Natasha Denona. If you were to just use the powder on its own, it would be very, very similar to Natasha Denona's Cheek Duo. So if you have the Patrick Ta She's That Girl blush, you really don't need the Natasha Denona because the color is almost identical. What is going to be different is the texture. Patrick Ta is a lot more creamy, a lot more emollient than the Natasha Denona. The Natasha Denona will more or less stay matte. Now the other close match is the Temptation blush from Ilia. This one has also a beautiful cream, almost matte finish, but it's not as matte as the Natasha Denona. It's a little bit more of a satin finish. And this one you can see there's a slight peach undertone in there. So it's not an exact dupe for Natasha Denona, but it is similar. It's just slightly warmer. Then we have NARS Desire, which is very cool tone, like a Barbie pink shade, very different to Natasha Denona. Now comparing the highlighter, it really comes down to your personal preference. Do you like sparkle or you don't? Because if you like sparkle, then I think you're going to really enjoy the Natasha Denona. It has beautiful pink wash with gold sparkle, and it looks really nice. But if you don't like that detectable sparkle, then I don't think this is for you. Now, just having a look at all the other highlighters that I thought could be comparable, they're all very smooth in comparison to the Natasha Denona. They don't really have that detectable sparkle. In terms of color, the closest match that I have is from Juvia's Place. They have a blush palette that's volume 2,
In that palette, they have two highlighters. One is that beautiful bright pink, and the one right next to that, it's their softer, more gold highlighter. Now, what I've done for that swatch is I've got a little bit of pink from the previous swatch, and then I've used most of that gold highlighter, and that gives you a wash of this pinky gold highlighter that is very beautiful and very comparable to Natasha Denona. The main difference here is that sparkle. Juvia's Place has no detectable sparkle. It is a beautiful, extremely smooth highlighter, and it's very underrated in my opinion. Juvia's Place do amazing highlighters, and this palette is no exception. So if you're looking for a pinky gold highlighter, I do recommend Juvia's Place. They are amazing, and it's a fraction of the price. And here's the close-up shot of the Natasha Denona, and you can really see that golden sparkle stand out. Again, don't think the sparkle is bad. It really comes down to your personal preference. And I'm showing this to you because I want to make sure that if you make this purchase online and you're not able to see it in store, that you know what you're getting.
Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed those comparison swatches, and overall I do really enjoy this product. I think the cream blush is fantastic, especially for those of you that may have more oilier skin types. It lasts all day, it applies effortlessly, the color is super gorgeous, and the highlighter is the only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed with. It's not my personal preferred finish, but the color itself is stunning and it pairs just so beautifully with this blush. So I think Natasha Denona did a great job with pairing these two together because they just work so beautifully. Now, if you have this blush or you're thinking of buying it, let me know in the comment box below. And of course, please subscribe. It really helps to support my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya.